Hey y'all! This week's video is going to be kind of short and sweet. I'm just going to continue off of last week's video where I was making foundational garments for an 18th century ball. I do know it will be a gown or a dress of sorts, so I am working foundations out for that. Now last week I made this Simplicity 8579 and I made the stays pattern. So I'm going to move on to making the shift using the same pattern. And then I'm going to make the Frances Rump by Scroop Patterns. I am just going to use fabrics that I already have lying around the house. Not much to really talk about in regards to these two or my planning just yet, so let's just get started on making these. The nice thing about this pattern is it's just two half circles. I'm just going to follow the instructions and sew up the curved edge of the half circle. And then I'm going to draw the lines that are indicated on the pattern and stitch those down as well. Then comes the fun part of getting to stuff the entire thing. Before sewing the straps on, it has you pleat according to the pleat guide at the top. This is a little bit awkward, but I got through it. I survived it. The bum roll is done now. I feel like it's very large, so I don't know if I overstuffed it or chose the wrong size or something, but if me and my friends ever get tired, at least I know that we could lay on each other's bum rolls. Now I need to go ahead and get started on my shift. Okay, so I didn't want to in planning this project, but I'm going to flat fell the seams. I wanted to do this really quick and lazy, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm gonna wear this more than one time and I don't want it to fall out. Fall apart. Hopefully it wouldn't just fall out. So what I'm gonna do is trim back this seam, fold this one over and just stitch it down. I'm still just gonna do it by machine, but just make this last a little bit longer for me. Both of these patterns were super easy to make up. I think I made both of them in roughly a day, probably less than that. And I'm super excited to now move on to the regular dress. Now I just have to figure out what that's going to be.